And for those who don't know, CO is correctional officer. They basically run the jails and stuff like that in the inside, deal with any inmates' complaints, inmate problems, all of that shit. But they are very shady, some of them. And some of them, if they're girls and stuff, will fuck like a heavy hitter in the bed. They will do that to make moves and stuff like that. They make moves on the outside. They make moves in the inside. They're doing. It's a lot of work going on. And when I talk about work, it's work, B. The people in the bin. Let me preface what I'm about to say. The people in the bin are some of the most shady people, but they're real. Like if you meet a person in public, they're shady too. But they do their shade in the shadows of legality. Anything that's legal, they'll be shady in that parameter. The people in the bin, they're so real that they don't give a fuck about what's legal. And they're just shady out there just like that. So anyways, I went into the bin the first time and I asked the CEO to move the couch. And the CEO is just like, no, you can't move it. So I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm moving it. You can't tell me I can't move a couch and nobody's using it. So I just moved the couch a little bit and it's dragging across the fucking yard. Screw. Then a bunch of these niggas come up to me, like 4 niggas come up to me, and they're just like, "What are you doing right now? You're not moving that. You're not moving that. What are you doing? You want to get shanked right now?" They actually told me if I want to get shanked right now. I said, "Come fucking shank me. Do what you're gonna do." And ever since that day, it's like they had a different sort of respect for me. Because nothing happened that day. But these guys became close to me. As if they wanted to be my friend or something like that. But I'm telling you right now, there's no friends in there. It's just what we can do for you and what you can do for me. So anyways, they didn't have a problem with me because they thought I was hard or whatever. And I stuck up for myself. So they didn't have a problem with me. But let me tell you that one day, I'm eating my breakfast they give me. Struggle meals here, struggle meals there. They probably give you a honey bun or something. You know what I'm saying? Something sweet. And there's this big guy. I didn't find out he chopped up bodies until after I talked to one of the guys in there. That he was in there for chopping up someone's body like a serial killer type of shit. And they don't tell you on the news that this nigga had chopped up bodies in his presence, or they don't tell you all of this shit on the news. They don't tell on the news it's pretty crimes. Someone gets stabbed here, someone gets shot there. They don't tell you about all this kidnapping and human trafficking and killers that are out there that are burning down the house with their mother and child in there. They don't tell you about that on the news. So, this guy, I didn't know he was in there for chopping up bodies. So this guy comes and he gives me his honey bun. And I'm just like, I'll take whatever I can get, man. I'm not buying no fucking canteen. I don't plan on being here for long. Let me just take what I can get. So I take the honey bun. He does this maybe 4 times when I'm there. Like he doesn't eat sweets or nothing. So next thing you know, I get out. The NFL on CTV is brought to you in part by FanDuel. And I was telling someone the story. And we just both came to the conclusion that that guy was pretty much prepping me to become his punk. Like, what if he just came to me one day and said, you know, you have to pay for that. Nothing's free in this life. And he made me toot that ass up. Imagine if he made me toot that ass up. Bro, that guy was huge. What if he just came to me and said, yo, because I was just like, yeah, everyone seemed really nice. Why is everyone so nice? I never knew people were nice like that in the bed. People are not nice. They're snaky, B. They're snaky. So he could have fucking tried to rape me right there. Boom. That could have been a rape play. You can't afford no honey buns. You can't afford to pay me back for the honey buns. I'm taking that ass right away. Boom. That's a play. Another play that they did it to me in jail was those same guys that came up to me and told me that they will shank me. They were new. They were not new. They were like veterans in there. And I was the new guy. And they all knew each other, and they were like the popular guys in there. So one time, one of the popular guys comes to me, and he's just like, hold this. And we're all joking, we're all friends and stuff, and he just comes to me and he's like, hold this. He gave me all this weed and pills and all of this shit in like a little baggie. And he just put it in my jumper. But the thing is, I was playing basketball in the gym. And when I tell you that the guards are in on it, when I was playing basketball in the gym, these people, the COs from all sorts of ranges, came into the fucking yard and did a search on everybody in the yard. But they missed me because I was in the gym. Do you know how many years I would have gotten if I had that on me and they checked me? Bro, it's too crazy. It's too crazy. I'll tell you that right now. It's way too crazy. Then I was in there with a guy with Lucifer tattoos, 666, all over his body. All over his body. And they put me in there with him because they see me bringing the Bible into my cell. So they put me in there with him. And I asked him what he's in there for. He burned his house down. Arson. With his baby moms and his little daughter in the house. He tried to burn it down. Well, he burned the house down, but they didn't die, I think. They didn't die. So, when people tell you that, like, the only reason I made it out of there without getting raped is because I was in there for 30 days. And then in that 30 days, it's enough to get raped in that 30 days if you don't stick up for yourself. But I could see the pieces aligning and trying to block me in, like trying to set me up, those pieces. Every day was a setup. They just, they kind of soothe you into the setup. If you're hard. If you have heart. if you have integrity. They soothe you into the setup so you don't notice and shit like that. Because who knows how hell will break loose. One of their men could get killed. You never know. You know? So, and then the next place I went to Maplehurst, and there nobody liked me. Nobody liked me in Maplehurst. No one even pretended to like me in Maplehurst. They were pissed off at me. I was beefing with the guy who serves the food. I was beefing with guys who, yeah, actually, there was a couple of guys that I could sit at their table. They were like high-ranking blood members or something, like, you know what I'm saying? I could sit at their table, and I'm no blood, but I could sit at their table. But I got into a couple of fights over there where the guy who was serving the food, I just pushed the fucking, he serves it through the little cubby hole in the door, the slot in the door. And when I was finished, I just put the plate there and I dashed it on the floor through the fucking door. And he's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you when you get out. So when I was getting out and I was going to the shower, and by the way, you don't take off your clothes in the shower. You just keep your shorts on or something. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get fully naked in the shower. Just keep your shorts on, wash your balls under your shorts, and keep it moving. You know? So I was in there, and I was with my slippers that time. And the guy swung on me, and the slippers were sliding, and I dodged it by the fucking... And when he seen me dodge it, he knew I had quick reflexes, and he didn't try and pull another punch. So me and him, I just went up to him, and I'm just like, I can't be fighting people in here if I'm not gonna kill them. Like, there's nowhere to run. You're just gonna get further and further, deeper and deeper into something you just don't want to stay in. Then you're gonna be living a life of fucking incarceration. You don't want to fight too much people. You know what I'm saying? So I went up to him, I shook his hand, and I said, you know what? I'm sorry, man. I went up to him and I told him I'm sorry. And then there was another white kid, because they didn't want me shitting in my cell. Like, they all have rules, different rules. You know? There's rules for this and rules for that, and they have a million different rules. They don't want me stinking up the cell and shitting in the cell, so they said shit outside into the yard. There's a toilet on the yard. So I was doing the toilet on the yard, and I didn't block it, because I guess you're supposed to block it. I don't even know how this shit works, man. You're supposed to block it, right? And I didn't block it, so this white guy, skinny white guy, came up to me and hit me on the head with some slippers and said, you're supposed to block it, man. And I was pissed when he hit me. And then I went up to him after I finished wiping my ass and shit, and I'm just like, why you hitting me for? You know? I went up to him, and he's just like, if you want to go fight, let's fight in the back with the curtains. So we went to the back. I was piecing him up, and he was bleeding from his nose and his mouth and shit. And the guards came and they ran in and stuff like that. And as the guards came, first nobody knew. But when we went out into the yard, I knew he was going to plan on rushing me one day. Well, as I went out into the yard, I went back to him, and I'm just like, I tried to shake his hand and shit, and that shaking hand doesn't work for everybody. So I tried to shake his hand, and he sucker punched me right in my eye. Boom. Right in my nose. Boom. 2 times. And I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I went after him, and everyone was holding me back. And then after the guards and everything came and broke it up and shit like that. And that's just my short time in the bin. That's 30 days in the South detention and 7 days, maybe even 5, I'd say a week in Maplehurst, Toronto, Canada.